Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video brings a discussion a wonderful poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Robert Frost is a modern poet of America. Though a modern poet, his chief interest lies in nature, its beautiful manifestation and their relevance in human life. Robert Frost found out philosophy of life in nature. According to the poet, nature is not a source of delight and sensuous joy, rather an understanding of human nature. Robert Frost got the best literary award in America for 4 times, that is the Pulitzer Prize, the most covetous award for a writer. It is because his poetry is suffused with literary value, intellectual pursuit. They are easy, convincing, educative, and thoughtful in its context. Robert Frost's poetry takes origin from jungle. They are personal in touch, and the poet itself is the speaker who has confronted a particular situation in the woods that has touched his heart and has prompted him to write a poem. Surprisingly, the situation he confronts is having universal value. Any man at any moment may come across such a situation, and the feeling that have reflected in the poet's mind may appear to the viewer if he has a poetic temperament and understanding eye. In stopping by woods on a snowy evening, the poet has stopped in a snowy jungle in a snowy evening while returning to his farmhouse. The sight of the woods has bewitched him and dragged him to deeper philosophy. Outwardly, the poet conveys very normal but amusing meaning, but a deep diver can collect pearl by making an comprehensive study. The philosophy that life is an endless road and every mortal is a timeless traveler seems true here. The world itself is a jungle where unless you are promising and determined can never reach the goal and get lost. Coming to the stanzas, the first stanza is here. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Here, woods mean an area of trees smaller than a forest. This is a man-made jungle. One day, while returning to his farmhouse, on his horseback, the poet stopped in a jungle. It was a snowy evening. There was snow everywhere. The weather was very chilly. Yet the poet stopped there to perceiving the treasure of nature in grand and splendid form. The poet thought that the owner of the woods would not know the poet had stopped there because the owner was resting in his village, which was a bit far from the jungle. He would never think that a man could stop in his jungle in such a cold, snowy evening only to watch the woods fill up with snow. The second stanza, my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Here, little means humble or ordinary. To the poet, his horse was very dear to him. My little horse means the poet's lovely horse. The poet's lovely horse was, however, unable to understand the poet's sense of beauty. The horse was astonished that its owner was enjoying an uncomfortable weather. Had the poet stopped near a farmhouse, the horse could have been happy and thought it sensible. But stopping between the snowy woods and frozen lake, where it was the darkest evening of the year, was beyond the horse proposition. The third stanza, he gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Here wind means the breeze, gentle breeze. Easy wind means gentle breeze, and downy flake, here the snow falls to downward. That is downy flake. He gives. Here he means the horse. The horse turned impatient, waiting long. The poet had no end of watching the beauty of the woods. At last the horse harnessed its bell to give sound so that the poet would return to consciousness, realized that he had been late and that he must return soon. The poet heard the harness bell and knew what the horse intended to say. The sound of the snowfall and movement of easy wind made him forgetful a while. The quiet atmosphere of the jungle was broken by this sound. It made him overwhelmed. The final stanza, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Here, this is the last stanza of the poem, the most sensible and realistic indeed. The poet presents life philosophy here. The critics have high estimation for it. Jawaharlal Nehru placed this quotation on his office table, which gave him inspiration for any work. It has been translated into Odia too. The poet has returned to reality, to human world, the world of din and bustle, where life runs like a machine. The poet says, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. Life is full of promises which can be related with wishes, ambitions, dreams, hopes, aspirations. Without them, life seems dull, monotonous. Men work for the promises. All his mundane activities are related with promises. These promises are so colorful that they keep men engaged, props to work day and night, to lead a mechanical life. Life without promises is a great zero. In one side, there is lovely jungle, which can be synonymous with entertainment, amusement, sensuous pleasure. In another side, there is duty, responsibility, work, culture, reward, salary, material, and busy life. Sense of beauty is a balm for the soul, but the physical body needs comfort, luxury, aristocracy, which appear in the form of promises. And to keep the promises, you must reject the love for watching woods. Finally, the poet says that he has miles to go before I sleep. Here, mile physically means a distance of 1.6 kilometer. Implies here miles means long distance. Here, the poet has miles to go before sleep. Here, sleep refers to the permanent sleep, that is death. Miles to go refers to hard physical work that is key to success. A sleeping lion catches no deer. Just like that, an idle fellow gets no success in life. Sleep is inevitable, life is transitory. One cannot avoid death. But before death embraces you, when you have still time to materialize your dream, to walk miles to gather success, you should go on collecting the pulse so that at the time of death you will have no obsession, no remorse, no repentance. At last you will feel credited that you have led your life on the right path. Thank you.